Welcome to Phillies Fan Central, where passion meets the diamond and every fan's voice counts.
Welcome back to Phillies Fan Central, your number one source for everything regarding the fight in Phils. We have breaking news coming out of the hot stove that could seriously shake up our outfield plans for 2026. But before we dive into the deep end of this analysis, do me a huge favor. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like, ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat, and get ready to sound off in the comments. We are building the best Phillies community on YouTube right here, and I want to hear your voice. Let's get right into it. We are officially in the thick of the offseason, and the Texas Rangers have just dropped a bombshell that has Dave Dombrowski written all over it. In a surprising move regarding their roster construction, the Rangers have decided to non-tender outfielder Adolis Garcia, immediately making him an unrestricted free agent. This isn't just a rumor. This is a confirmed transaction that happened this Friday, and it changes the landscape of the outfield market considerably. According to MLB insider Jim Bowden, who was all over this non-tender situation, the Philadelphia Phillies are currently listed as one of the top 4 clubs with a legitimate chance to land the Cuban slugger. Why does this matter? Because despite his recent struggles, we are looking at a guy who fits the classic change of scenery profile that this front office loves to target. Let's look at the financials and the context. Garcia was projected to make $12,750,000 in his final year of arbitration before hitting free agency next winter. The Rangers, looking to cut costs and disappointed with his production over the last 24 months, decided to cut ties rather than pay that premium. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Why do we want a guy the Rangers didn't want? We have to look at the pedigree. We are talking about a player who, just 2 seasons ago in 2023, was an absolute monster when the lights were brightest. We all remember that postseason run. Garcia drove in a record-breaking 22 runs in the playoffs, smashed 8 home runs, and posted an OPS of 1,108 across 15 games. He was the heartbeat of that World Series team. However, we have to be realistic and transparent about the risk involved here. The El Bombi we saw in 2023 has not been the same player recently. The 32-year-old is coming off a very difficult 2025 campaign where his numbers dipped significantly. He played in 135 games, his lowest total since the shortened 2020 season, and his slash line sat at a concerning .227 batting average, a .271 on-base percentage, and a .394 slugging percentage. He hit 19 home runs and drove in 75 runs. While 75 RBIs isn't terrible, the lack of on-base capability is a red flag. This follows a 2024 season where he hit .224 with 25 homers. The trend line is pointing down, there's no denying that. But here is where the Phils factor comes in. Dombrowski and manager Rob Thompson have a history of betting on track records. The thinking here is that Garcia, removed from the pressure in Texas and inserted into a lineup that already features heavy hitters, could rediscover that power stroke. We aren't asking him to be the MVP. We would be asking him to be a dangerous weapon in the bottom half of the order. Now let's shift gears and talk about how Adolis Garcia actually fits into the puzzle. That is the 2026 Philadelphia Phillies roster, because the outfield situation is currently in a state of massive flux. We have to look at the domino effect this signing would create. We know the rumors surrounding Nick Castellanos. There is a very real possibility that Nick is either traded or released this offseason as the team looks to reallocate funds and change the defensive dynamic. If Castellanos is gone, you immediately lose a right-handed power bat. Garcia Despite his batting average flaws, offers elite raw power and, perhaps more importantly, a cannon for an arm in right field, a defensive upgrade we have desperately needed for years. Citizens Bank Park is a hitter's paradise, specifically the left field power alley, but for a right-handed pull hitter like Garcia, playing 81 games in the bank could be the exact remedy to get his slugging percentage back up over 450. Furthermore, we have to address the free agency exits. Harrison Bader and Max Kepler are both free agents. While Bader's glove was nice, his return is a coin flip, and it is almost a guarantee that Kepler won't be back in red pinstripes. This leaves a gaping hole in the outfield depth chart. We also have the Brandon Marsh situation. Will he be traded to acquire pitching, or does he stay as a platoon piece? And then there are the younger guys, Johan Rojas and Weston Wilson. Are we ready to trust them with 500 at bats? I am not so sure. This brings us to the most exciting wildcard, Justin Crawford. We all want to see Crawford patrolling center or left field on opening day, bringing that elite speed and contactability, but relying solely on a rookie is a dangerous game for a team with World Series aspirations. Bringing in a veteran like Garcia provides a safety net. It allows Crawford to ease into the majors without the pressure of being the primary run producer in the outfield. There is also the Kyle Schwarber variable. If Schwarber does not renew, or if the team wants to rotate him into the field occasionally, the designated hitter spot opens up. Garcia could be part of a rotating DH strategy to keep legs fresh. Rob Thompson loves flexibility, and while Garcia's on-base percentage is frustrating, his ability to change a game with one swing is something this team values highly. Think about the Red October energy. We need guys who don't shrink in the moment. Garcia has proven he can carry a team in November. If we can get him on a one-year prove-it deal, significantly cheaper than the $12 million he was owed, it's a low-risk, high-reward move. It signals that the front office is looking for aggressive upgrades and isn't satisfied with running back the same offensive mix that stalled out last year. It is a gamble, yes, but it is the kind of calculated gamble that wins championships. So here is the bottom line. The Texas Rangers just handed us a fascinating lottery ticket. Adolis Garcia is a distressed asset with a World Series pedigree. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. His strikeout rate is scary, and his last 2 years have been rough. But if Dave Dombrowski can bring him into Citizens Bank Park on a team-friendly deal, the upside of adding a guy who can hit 30 homers and throw runners out from the warning track is something we have to investigate seriously. But I want to know what you think. Is Adolis Garcia the power bat we need to replace Castellanos? Or is he just another low-average hitter that will frustrate us in July? Do you trust the young guns like Crawford to take over? Or do we need that veteran presence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I read every single one of them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please subscribe to Phillies Fan Central. Hit that like button and turn on the notification bell so you are the first to know when the next big move happens. We are in this together, Philly. Until next time, keep the faith, go Phils, and ring the bell.